Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 when I post videos to this channel, and here on ETCG1 I start things off with, hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday, please enjoy this digital confection I found for you. Today's discussion comes about as a result of a recent trip that I made to the tire store to get an alignment done. And I was talking to one of the technicians there, and he was talking about starting his own mobile mechanic business. And that got me to thinking about something that's come up several times over the past few years about being a mobile mechanic. And here's a fun fact. I started out as a mobile mechanic. I was in the back of my 1984 Honda Civic with my 3-drawer Craftsman toolbox, and I would travel to people's houses and I would work on their vehicles. Freaking hated it. You know, it was a great opportunity to learn new things and work on different vehicles and get to know customers and building those relationships and things like that. But one of my distinct memories is actually laying underneath the car, working on it while it was snowing, and half of my body was covered in snow when I got out from under the car and the other half was not. And I realize that many of you out there work under those kind of conditions. You don't have any covered area that you're working in and all that. And I certainly feel for you because I've been there and I did not like it. But mobile mechanic it's its own thing. And my biggest issue with it, my biggest issue when I was doing it was the fact that, well, aside from the obvious being in the weather and working, was not being close to all of my tools or not being close to a stash of tools that can be helpful in situations where you're trying to fix something. Here's an example. Maybe you're trying to do something as simple as a brake job, but maybe things go awry and you find a rusted or a broken bolt and you find that you have to remove more stuff than you thought you needed to initially. And maybe this is the rust belt and things are covered with rust and you need a torch or you need more tools. Or that list just keeps growing. And in my experience, when you're doing this work, the tools that you have can make or break the job. Like, for instance, Honda trailing arm bushings. So those trailing arm bushings that go into, hang on, these guys. In fact, this is the reason I was at the alignment store, because I replaced these in someone's vehicle. Anyhow, without the special tool to replace these, this is very challenging. So you're with a hammer, you're with Sawzall, you're doing all kinds of cutting and beating. Having the correct tool at your disposal, and yes, you could use it as a mobile mechanic, but having the correct tool at your disposal makes this job so much easier. And that's the kind of thing that I'm getting at here. And I'm saying that you're handicapping yourself and you're working with limitations if you're a mobile mechanic. But again, it's something that I gave up, and that was many years ago. So there are better tools out now, and there's entire businesses and industries built around it. So please don't take my misgivings about being a mobile mechanic as like you should avoid being a mobile mechanic, because if that's your path to success, that's your path to success. Case in point, the person that I was talking to at that shop said to me one of the reasons they wanted to get into mobile was because they couldn't afford the rent on a shop. They were looking at spending like $3,000 for like a 2-bay shop. But then I asked, is it on a busy street? And he said, yes. Well, that's the thing. If you're going to look for a place that could be good for business on a busy street or something like that, where lots of people are passing by, they're going to see your name day in, day out, and their car breaks, that might just be where they bring it. Well, that's what you're hoping for in a situation like that. So yes, that real estate would be worth more. But I started out, as many of you know, in a very dingy, dark apartment building, for lack of a better word, just because it had a garage space in it. No room for a lift, no room for anything. But I much preferred working in that dungeon than working out in the elements. And I can't remember what my rent was there. I think it was like $300 or $400 a month when I started, but I had to wait. And when I say I had to wait, somebody was occupying that space initially and they were doing mechanic work out of it. And if somebody's got a space and they're doing mechanic work out of it, it's not likely they're going to leave anytime soon. But I got lucky enough that someone did. And I was also walking by that space on a almost daily basis, keeping an eye on when things were changing or happening. And the second that person moved out, I happened to walk up on a day when the owner was there, talked to the owner, and in a few weeks' time, I was able to rent it and I had myself a shop. That's my situation. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be that way for you, but what I'm going to say is if you want a shop, be diligent about it. If you want to get into mobile mechanics, be diligent about it. I mean, pursue it. Like, learn as much as you can about it before you get into it. And I think the number one takeaway, if you're being a mobile mechanic or you're starting your own shop somewhere, is take care of your customers, because ultimately that is your income. So if you take care of that income and nurture that income, that will grow over time. I still have people reaching out to me to this day about the side work that I used to do. And I guess that's another thing that I should mention, is that the people that I know that are doing this are already in the field, and they've already established themselves as mechanics and built a tool setup and things like that. I would advise against starting out with a shop or starting out with a mobile mechanic business. You might start out working on your friends and family's cars and those types of things, and in location you might decide that that's the thing for you. If you do, I would encourage you to seek out an automotive education. That will give you the foundation that you can use to build on to, well, grow into whatever you want it to grow into. But I think that foundation is great because yes, so much of mechanics is experience-based, and you're going to learn more by what you're doing than anything else. But as I said, it's a foundation. So if you have that understanding, if you have that backing, if you have some of that experience, like the experience that you get in school is not nearly as much of a, well, I don't want to say challenge, but it's not nearly as, the stakes aren't nearly as high, because you're in school, you're learning. If you are starting a business or you're out working on somebody's vehicle and it doesn't work out or something happens, you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared to deal with that. When you're in school, it's less of an issue. Anyway, enough preaching about that type of thing. But as far as mobile mechanics are concerned, I've got no issues with mobile mechanics. Like I said, it's not something for me. I'm very fortunate to have landed in the shop that I'm in now. Super happy that things worked out the way that they did. But again, I spent almost 4 years trying to find this place. It's not easy to find a place to work out of, especially one that's going to work for you and your budget. But be diligent. Keep at it. And if being a mechanic or a mobile mechanic is your thing, pursue it. Be the best you can be and take care of your customers. I hope that information is helpful. I'm going to link other stuff down in the description, including ericthecarguy.com, which is where I ask you go if you have automotive questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching today. Be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I'll see you next time. Yes, I will. You will click like, subscribe, and hit notifications. That's why. See you then.